Hey there, I'm DPadGamer, and would you like to hear something spooky? Five Nights at Freddy's has been around since August of 2014. That was 4 years ago, and 2 years ago I released my video looking at Easter eggs in the first 3 games. Do you like scary games? Games that leave you shaken, unsettled, and otherwise spooked? Well then, you've come to the right place because it's time for something I literally made up last week, Spooktober. Since then, we've seen even more games come out, so here we are. It's time for Easter eggs in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Sister Location, Pizzeria Simulator, and Ultimate Custom Night. Starting off with FNAF 4, aka the worst of the series, you're plopped into a bedroom playing as a child scampering from door to door. When turning around to admire a bed, there is a small chance of seeing one of 3 objects on the left side of the bed. There could be some pills, perhaps a vase of flowers, or even a stand with an IV bag. Last I checked, this supports the theory that the kid you play as is either in a coma, perhaps the recovering victim of the bite of 87, or maybe he just came down with ligma. Who knows? Assuming you make it through night 2, the retro minigame has the Fredbear plush telling you to run from the Fazbear pizza establishment. If you leave the first room but immediately come back, you'll see what seems to be the purple guy placing a child into the spring trap suit. Spooky. After night 3, the minigame has you leaving the restaurant and heading home. If you stand in front of the TV and wait, you'll see a show called Fredbear and Friends, with a date of 1983. That number will be relevant later. It's also worth mentioning that throughout the game, there is a staticky sound effect that can be heard. When we reverse that, you can tell that it's actually the iconic phone call from the very first game. Oh, and in case you were wondering, yes, the Freddy plush's nose does indeed make a honking noise if you boop it. Just don't get carried away. If you stare at Freddy too long, on any night, even the first, Foxy will appear. With that, let's jump scare away on over to FNAF's Sister Location, aka the one too good to use a number in its name. This one has you going throughout Circus Baby's Pizza World with the primary control module as your main hub. In here, you can click on things. Whoa. For example, the creepy white mask of Ennard makes a weird crying nose when booping his nose. And the thing on the right will have a very creepy laugh. Oh, and that trio of baby heads make noises of some description. If you delve into the custom night mode, which was added post-launch, Freddy plush's nose is clickable and it's spammable. That's a top tier nose. Oh, and there's a very small chance that in the primary control module, you will find Ennard's mask replaced with Lullabit's head. Along with that, there is a small chance of a spinning Marina appearing on the left side of the desk. These can appear when you repeatedly die to either Funtime Foxy or Ballora respectively. Moving north into the circus control room, there is a very small chance that Biddy Bab can appear peeking through the window. These names are getting out of hand. Anyways, there is a secret minigame that you can access by dying 5 times or just by pressing the Circus Baby sprite at the bottom left of the extras menu. This one has you running through the side scroller picking up cupcake power-ups to forcefully feed children from afar. You have less than a minute to do this, so the right strategy is required, one that you'll have to look up yourself. After enough attempts, you'll obtain an ice cream cone that you must take all the way to the start of the level. Once that's done, this happens. If you don't know, this ending of the minigame depicts William Afton's daughter being killed by Circus Baby. Fun for all ages, am I right? Now head to the secret room, access on the 5th night by holding up and right instead of heeding Baby's instructions through the Funtime Auditorium. While in here, input that date that we got from FNAF 4 earlier, 1983. Doing so will cause the monitors to come to life, revealing 3 creepy shots of locations from FNAF 4. Why? Who knows, but it gets the theory juices pumping, and that's all that matters. Now, if you were to continue on and receive the fake ending, Michael Afton will return home to catch the last of the Immortal and the Restless on TV. While doing so, there is a small chance that a Marina will appear watching the player from the bottom left, in the dark. Oh, and in the final fake ending, she could also pop out of the bowl of popcorn for some reason. And in case anybody thinks I forgot to reference the dead meme,
Exotic Butters.
It's at this point we jump into Five Nights at Freddy's 6, aka Pizzeria Simulator. This one is definitely a departure from the normal games, which isn't saying much, but it's actually really fun. Anyways, while running your pizzeria, there are 3 minigame cabinets that you can purchase and place into your restaurant. Midnight Motorist, Fruity Maze, and Security Puppet. Each of these, together, seem to tell a harrowing story. In Fruity Maze, you run through a maze collecting fruit with 3 power-ups. You got the magnet, which brings fruit in, a lightning bolt which makes you faster, and a purple blob which makes you move through walls. You can see a spring bunny hanging around occasionally, though they don't actually do anything. When the screen flashes, you'll see a face in the reflection of the glass. That's you, and you are playing as Susie, the girl who, I think, would eventually possess Chica. After completing the minigame and re-entering, the music will be a little bit off, and some of the fruit have been replaced by a dog. Susie, via the reflection, seems to be sad. Winning and re-entering again will reveal that the game has gone off the deep end. The speed power-up no longer is collectible, the music is very distorted, and a lot of the fruits aren't correct. Oh, and rest in peace. In the reflection, you can see a crying Susie with William in the spring Bonnie suit beside her. Upon losing, text will appear in blue that says he is not dead, and then he is over here in yellow text, and finally, follow me in blue text. If you try to replay, you'll find that the Fruity Maze minigame no longer works. The Security Puppet is actually another minigame, and in this one, you're assigned the green child and must press space to stop them from trying to leave. However, they will not appear. On the second time playing the minigame, again, your child will not appear. On the third play, however, it's different. There are 3 children taunting another child stuck outside. Meanwhile, the puppet is trapped inside of his box, not able to help. After the kids leave, the one outside reveals that they are the child that the puppet was assigned to, and you must move outside quickly into the rain to find your child. Now, keep in mind, the puppet is an animatronic, so the rain quickly destroys him, leaving the puppet crawling on the ground to the body of the green child, with tire tracks nearby. In Midnight Motorist, you play as someone driving recklessly down the highway. You'll go faster and faster, meanwhile hitting cars slows you down. On lap 4, there is a break in the lower wall, so hold down and go through that to enter the Easter egg. At this point, you'll be driving around a bit more controllably, so follow the path until the first fork in the road and go west. Here you'll find yourself at what I presume to be a bar named Junior's. Here a green name will stop you from entering, saying, "Come on, you know you can't be here. Don't make this more difficult than it needs to be." Get back into your car and head east, then follow the road south until you reach your home. Inside, if you speak to the person on the couch, they will say that you should leave him alone tonight. He's had a rough day. They're likely talking about whoever's inside the room to the north part of the house, who Yellow Guy angrily tells to open the door. When Yellow Guy decides to find a way from the outside, you'll move around the house to find a broken window, a set of footprints, and what seems to be the footprints of animatronics. Yellow Guy will say that he must have ran off to that place again, and the minigame will end. Where does he mean? Well, earlier in that same minigame, if you were to drive to the left of the screen on this switchback, you'll actually get out of your car. Moving west will reveal an ominous area with some kind of rock, or maybe a pile of dirt, or a hole. Who knows? All we know is that these minigames paint a very disturbing night. It really makes you wonder, can you honk the nose of a plush in this game? Hot damn, of course you can! At this point, we've reached the final FNAF game in the series so far, and possibly ever, because we're not considering FNAF World, Ultimate Custom Night. Everyone is here. In this one, the Smash memes basically write themselves. In this game, the Easter eggs are pretty bland, but here we go. First off, turn everything to 0 and set Golden Freddy to 1. Once inside the game, cycle through the cameras until you collect 10 Faz coins and purchase the Death coin from camera 7. Now you want to pretty bring up the cameras and drop them again until you find a Golden Freddy sitting inside your office. Once that's done, press the Death coin quickly to activate the Fredbear jump scare. For me, however, I just ran out of power and spam clicked over the Death coin until I guess it worked. Next, set everything to 0 and then the Old Man consequences to 1. Wait until the Old Man triggers the Catch a Fish minigame and press C at the right time to win it, which will, in this setup, immediately put you at a lake. Speak to the Old Man, who will say, "Come sit with me for a while," and then leave the demon to his demons. Rest your own soul, there is nothing else. After that, you must enter the lake by repeatedly pressing A and D to, I guess, shimmy your way into the water. Press down and the game will crash. Now, I don't think this could actually be considered an Easter egg, but who cares? Among all the animatronics in this game, Mr. Hippo is very odd. If you somehow die to him during the night, you will be treated, or punished, with a obnoxiously long death monologue, which is not skippable. He has 4 different monologues, each rambling on about more or less the same thing. Mr. Hippo and his friend Orville feeding bread to birds at the park, basically that, also with a bit of iced tea mixed in. Among all the rambling, there is one nugget which I think has particular significance.
I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story. If you try to read into every little thing and find meaning in everything anyone says, you'll just drive yourself crazy. I had a friend do it once. Wasn't pretty, we talked about it for years.
Perhaps I am that person looking too deep into things, but I like to think that this is Scott nudging the FNAF theory community in some regards, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story, and a game is just a game, and a video is just a video. Thanks for watching.